Hi, welcome to part 1 of the orientation for the online section of Beginning Algebra. My name is Jenny Joa, and I will be your instructor for the course. I will frequently be referring to your course syllabus and schedule throughout this video. The syllabus and schedule in this video are generic ones, and the ones specific to your section are found within your D2L Brightspace page. So if you have not already done so, please pause this video and go print off the syllabus and schedule found in D2L under the Content tab. Okay, so this is the course syllabus for Math 1500 Beginning Algebra online, and it's a 3-credit course. The semester and year of your course are listed at the top of the syllabus. This course is taught completely online with 2 mandatory in-class test dates and times. The specific dates and times are listed right here on your syllabus. Again, my name is Jenny Joa and my email address is listed here. For this online course, you do not need to purchase a book. It is optional. However, you will need to purchase an access code for the online component, which is through Pearson, MyMathLab, and Mastering.com. And you'll need to purchase that access code, and that can be purchased at the bookstore or directly online, and I will explain that in more detail later. As for the course content, this course includes practical applications of basic algebra, from signed numbers through solving and graphing equations, plus solving systems of equations and formulas with applied problems. You can read the specific course goals that I have listed here. These are a little bit more detail as to what we will go into throughout the course, but I will let you read those on your own. Next, what we have is the grading or the assessment. The grading for this course will be based on the following. There will be 2 in-class tests worth approximately 300 points. There will be 1 online test. There's homework, unit homework that's to be done each week, quizzes each week. There will be 2 notebook checks and test reviews. Each of these will be explained in more detail as we go on, and the points listed here are approximate, but once the final grade is calculated, the grading scale that will be used is 90 to 100% as an A, 80 to 90% as a B, 70 to 80% as a C, and so on. A grade of a C or better is needed in this class in order to take the next class, which is Math 1700. In general, here is how we will proceed through the course. We will be using the online math resource called MyMathLab to access the book, videos, assignments, quizzes, etc. So you will need to purchase an access code for this and have internet access, preferably high-speed internet. Each week, we will cover specific sections in the textbook. You will need to read or watch a video on the sections and do assignments and take a quiz. You may wish to follow the weekly checklist that I have created and provided for you in MyMathLab under document sharing to ensure that you've completed all the necessary work for each week. And in video number 2, we will go into MyMathLab and I'll show you all the components and where document sharing is. Next, you will read or watch the video in MyMathLab for each section in the textbook. Most sections of the textbook are also accompanied with things like PowerPoint, animations, tutorials explaining the different topics. So you are encouraged to utilize these resources. You might also want to review the class or chapter notes from my lecture classes. These are located under document sharing. There are both a blank and a completed form of the notes for you to review. After you have studied each section of the material, there is a homework assignment that must be completed and submitted online. You have the opportunity to redo the homework until it is 100% correct before you submit it. After you have completed the homework, there is a short, timed quiz to be completed and submitted online. You will have the opportunity to take the quiz twice before submitting it for a grade, and there is a bonus attempt if you've done well in the homework, and that is also explained below. There is a unit review or practice test for you to complete and submit prior to each test date. You may also wish to use the test preparation videos or sample tests online to help you get ready for the testing. The practice tests online are a great way to prepare you for the paper pencil tests. And then there are 2 in-class and 1 online tests. The in-class tests must be taken in class or at a pre-approved proctor setting. Next, I'd like to talk a little bit about taking an online class. Due to the lack of face-to-face instruction, taking an online course is usually more difficult than taking the class in person. Taking an online math course is only advised if you are an organized, disciplined, and self-motivated student who learns well independently. You are expected to read the course syllabus thoroughly, follow the course schedule, and fulfill all weekly expectations. This course requires a considerable amount of time commitment. You should expect to work 9 to 13 hours per week on this course. There that goes again. If you cannot make the time commitment, or are in doubt about your ability to succeed in this course, please reconsider if taking this course online is best for you. Okay, and I said I would go through all of these things in more detail. So starting with homework assignment. As far as the homework assignments, they will all be done in my math lab under the homework section. And learning math takes a lot of practice, so after each section there will be an assignment containing many examples of the concepts that are covered. Homework is assigned throughout the course. Follow the schedule or the checklist so that you know what is due each week. You will be able to work on each assignment as many times as you would like throughout that week. Therefore, there should be no reason that you do not end up with 100% on the homework portion of your grade. If it happens that you have an assignment or a portion of an assignment that is not complete by the due date, you can still work on it for 50% credit until the day of the test. After the date and time of the test, no late assignments or corrections will be accepted for that unit. I am able to obtain your scores directly from my math lab, so you do not need to hand anything in for the assignments. Next, quizzes. There are 11 4-point quizzes to be completed throughout the course. There's 60 minutes allotted for each quiz attempt, and that should be plenty of time. You will have the opportunity to take each quiz twice. So, if on your first attempt you have errors, go back and review some of the problems that were incorrect prior to retaking the quiz. There is a bonus that if you've scored 75% or higher on each of the homework assignments for that week, you will get an additional attempt at that week's quiz if needed. So you'll get 3 attempts instead of 2. Due dates and times are outlined on the schedule and in your weekly checklist. For any quiz not submitted on time, you will receive a grade of a 0 for that quiz, regardless of the reason. Work shown in a notebook is required when you complete your online quizzes. So you should show all of your work for each quiz problem, as quiz work will be given a separate grade. And I have that explained down here in the notebook. Work for each quiz problem should be completed in a notebook. There will be 2 notebook checks, and they will be conducted on the day of each of the 2 proctored tests. The notebook checks will be worth a total of 11 points, and it's based on the work shown for each quiz problem. See the notebook guidelines and how to organize your notebook. So what you need is a notebook or a 3-ring binder. It should be kept neat and well organized, as it will be collected on each test day. What you need to do is show your work for each of the quizzes within this notebook. So each quiz should start on a new page and be labeled at the top of the page. For example, quiz 1. Problems must be numbered in order and space given for work for each problem. So don't have work all over the paper so that it overlaps with the other problems. Just write out each problem, then work through the problems showing all the work and circle your final answer. Include a space for every problem, even if you do not complete it. So what this notebook is all about is I want you to show that you have done the work, and by writing it out, it gives you good practice for when you come in and take the paper pencil test. Even on your homework, you should have somewhere where you are writing down the problems and doing the work. It's not something you just figure out in your head and type in the answer for. Another thing I've added here is do not wait until the assigned due date to do all of your homework and quizzes. As I explained earlier, plan on about 9 to 13 hours per week for this class, so schedule yourself some time each day. Next item are the unit reviews. A unit review sheet is something that you'll complete prior to each test. These reviews will give you a very good idea of what to expect the test to look like. The reviews for the 2 in-class tests will be located in My Math Lab under the document sharing. What you'll do is you'll print those off and you'll show your work for all of them in order to receive full credit. The review for the online test will be done online. Each review will be worth 4 points, and the review sheet for the in-class tests and work must be handed in prior to taking the test on that unit. No reviews will be accepted after the tests have been taken. And once again, these reviews give you a very good idea of what the test is going to look like. So even though they may not look like they're worth a lot of points, go through and do them, as they really help you to prepare for the test. Speaking of tests, the unit tests will be given at the end of each section and are a large portion of your grade. Prepare for your test by completing all assignments, quizzes, and review materials. There are no retakes for students who do poorly on the tests. As far as the test dates, specific dates and times are listed on your syllabus. Every effort should be made to be in class on the day of the in-class tests. All in-class tests must be taken in class or at a pre-approved proctored site. If you are unable to be present, please contact me in writing a minimum of 3 days prior to the test to make arrangements to take the test. Student identity will be verified at the time of the test, so please bring a picture ID. As far as calculators go, a scientific calculator is required and may be used throughout the course for assignments, quizzes, and tests. But be careful. Oftentimes people make careless mistakes when using a calculator. Make sure you check for reasonableness. Graphing calculators are not allowed for the use on tests, as some graphing calculators may be programmed to solve problems, factor, graph, etc. Also, you may not share calculators or use a calculator on your phone or tablet during a test. I gave you my email address earlier on the syllabus. If you email me, in the subject line, make sure you put Math 1500 online. That way I know it's coming from one of my online students. Clearly state what it is that you want in the body of the email, what your questions are, and then also make sure you clearly state who you are. As for special accommodations for students with disabilities, I have posted here the phone number for the Disability Services Director at both the Brooklyn Park and Eden Prairie campuses. If you find that you are having difficulty with the course, there are a lot of other options. Contact me. We can try to set up a time to meet or discuss things via phone or online. Otherwise, there are various math resources. Within My Math Lab, that I'll show you in the next video, there are items within each assignment that say, help me solve this, view an example, ask my instructor. But also there's a multimedia library, there are animations, videos, a math coach, PowerPoints, sample tests, all kinds of things. So that is a huge resource right there for you. Then on each campus we have free walk-in tutoring or tutoring that you can schedule by an appointment. And so I have on your schedule the room numbers and phone numbers for the Learning Resource Center and the Math Center. And there's online math tutoring through My Math Lab, there's online math tutoring through Smart Thinking, and always remember that, go through the class notes that I've provided to you, the textbook, talk with other students. You can email students directly from My Math Lab to find if there's someone that wants to meet to get together to do some work. Ask family and friends for help. Use the internet for flashcards or explanations and more review. Okay, and then just a statement about all work turned in must be 100% your work. So that takes us pretty much through the syllabus. The next thing I'd like to go to are the schedule and the course checklist. Okay, so on the left here, I have the schedule for the full semester. It'll tell you throughout the schedule when the in-class test dates are, the online test. All of those are listed here at the top. And they may not match the dates I have right here on the screen because yours found on D2L are specific to your course. But each week is broken out here to tell you what it is that we will be covering. So in the middle here tells you the course introductions, which chapters that we will be going through. And then over on the right is specifically what you need to do as far as run the browser check, homework is listed here, and then the quiz. Week 2, these are the topics, the homework, and so on. And you can see how the first section, it's broken down. There are 5 weeks, and then it's the first test. And it gets you into Unit 2, topics that will be discussed in Unit 2, and then the homework listed there. So that is the overall course schedule listed right there. The other item I have is a weekly checklist, and that's over here on the right. Let me just move it over a little bit. For each week, I've created a weekly checklist. For a lot of students, this is beneficial because they can go through and check off each item as they've completed it. So for this first week, you're supposed to watch the orientation video, which you're doing right now, at least part 1. Print and read the course syllabus, the schedule, all of these items up here. Then next, it talks about reading or watching each section in the book and doing the homework. And all of that is listed here, and then the last thing would be to take the quiz for the week. Okay, so that pretty much takes me all through this first part, which is the syllabus and the schedule. There will be part 2 of the orientation that will go through my math lab.